I don't know if you know how. Well, you never actually hosted a show of your own, but Daniel. But the way Google Hangouts works, it takes about a minute for a queue. Now we're live. Awesome. Welcome everybody. This is Steampunk Star Raisin live show, episode 6, October 21st, 2015. I'm here with my co-host Daniel Bertazon, and
hello.
Hello, Daniel. Thanks for joining me again. And we're going to talk about, these are the upcoming topics for the next hour. We're talking about Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer review, Star Wars news, historical mysteries, the Zodiac killer mystery, the mystery of Elisa Lamb's death at the Cecil Hotel, the Black Dahlia murder, and creepypastas like Slender Man, and what I believe to be a creepypasta, the SS Ourang Medan. Is that an early creepypasta? I believe it to be so. And the last topic would be new Star Trek TV series ideas. So let me talk about the first. You've seen the trailer, Daniel, and I've seen the trailer. What is your thoughts on the new Star Wars Force Awakens trailer?
I thought it was awesome. It was awesome. Just wow, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that the center. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised because they released the trailer, or they released the movie poster the day before, and Rey is the central character. I think she's going to be the main protagonist for the next trilogy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think she will be the protagonist because Luke Skywalker is training her for Episode 8, I hear.
Well, I mean, in the Force Awakens card game that was released a couple of months ago, Rey is listed as a Jedi, and Finn, strangely enough, is listed as a rebel or a resistance. He's a resistance fighter, but I believe that Finn eventually does become a Jedi. He goes through transformation. We got Skype going.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, let me exit out of Skype myself because I don't like when people call in the middle of the show. The noise can be distracting. But yeah, I mean, the Finn, I believe, goes through transformation. As you can see in the new trailer, that he is a stormtrooper who's disillusioned. Then he joins the Resistance, and then he later trains to become a Jedi, or at least like so. I don't believe that he just randomly picks up the lightsaber and because it's the only weapon he has to fight, with. Because if that were the case, then Kylo Ren should be able to easily beat him. I mean, I know Kylo Ren's kind of a novice and supposedly self-taught, dark force user. But yeah, the one thing I really liked how you actually hear Kylo Ren's voice for the first time. I love that line, like, nothing's going to stand in our way. I will finish what you started. And he has such emotion in his voice with the words, what you started. And he's referring to Darth Vader's mask. He's talking to Darth Vader as if Darth Vader was right next to him. And he's got this personal, emotional connection. And that's really good writing. You can tell that Lawrence Kasdan wrote that in there. Because Lawrence Kasdan is just an awesome writer. Granted, Lawrence Kasdan didn't do a very good job writing Dreamcatcher. I wasn't a big fan of that film. But he did a really good job with Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Have you seen Dreamcatcher?
I wanted to, but then there were, I don't know, I'm hearing that
it was really bad. It was just cheesy.
There's aliens. Yeah, there's aliens, but then there's demons. Like, what are they? Aliens or demons? I don't know.
Well, they end up being aliens. They trick you into thinking that it's like supernatural, like it's demons, but there's just an alien base. Yeah. But it's basically. And Lawrence Kasdan actually wrote the screenplay for that. I was actually quite surprised that was a bad movie, at least in my opinion. But he's very closely grounded with what made Star Wars a success. He did an epic job in writing the screenplay for Empire Strikes Back and writing the screenplay for Return of the Jedi. So I'm confident in this film, and this trailer just makes me even more excited. I think it's going to be the highest grossing Star Wars film yet. Do you have any other comments about the new Star Wars trailer that was released?
Oh my god, it was so. That trailer was so awesome. I loved it. It was just so awesome, especially when when we see the Millennium Falcon in hyperspace, and then the song kind of stretched out. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a new take on hyperspace, because in the past, hyperspace, you always saw it from the pilot's point of view. You always saw it from the pilot's point of view, but then on this, you see it like from a bird's eye point of view. So that was really impressive. And, apparently Rey is very upset and crying about something. And then...
Yeah, that could be like Chewbacca.
Yeah, maybe it's Chewbacca, but who knows, And then you see her at the end, she's got like that rage, that fury in her eye, where she's picking up a blaster and firing, and she's just like all out for revenge. You almost can even sense that she may be even tempted by the dark side. But
I don't know, okay, like when I see that, like she's like enraged, like her teeth are like showing, and she's like firing a blaster.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, okay, I know that maybe some people don't want to hear me say this, but to me, Rey is just a sweaty, disgusting, dirty bitch. I mean, oh my god!
Man, don't be so mean. I love Rey. I love Daisy Ridley.
Oh my god!
Freaking hot. Go ahead.
I mean, come on. Does she have to be wet all the time? I mean, couldn't they wipe that bitch off before and after every scene?
Oh man, be nice. It's just the character is on a desert planet on Jakku. It's a shipwrecked planet.
Yeah, but not all the time.
Well, she lives on the planet.
Yeah, but not all the time.
Well, you actually see one scene where she's cleaned up, but I don't mind her being sweaty and hot. I think that I think I know why they did that, because they think that if she's shiny and sweaty, that then men will find her more attractive, because there are people out there who they think that women who are sweaty are more attractive. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, when I see sweat, I think of bacteria. Well, she's on a desert planet, so that's the reason for that. You're entitled to your opinion, but I would disagree. I think she's hot. And I think that the scenes were really well written, the ones that were seen in the teaser trailers and the ones that were seen in the last trailer, and I'm excited for the movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. You think you'll like it?
But I don't know. Also, she's like, I don't get it why she's so freaking angry, She's like so angry, she's firing the blaster, her teeth are showing, like what the heck?
Well, I think it's probably because somebody died and she wants revenge.
Yeah, she's like firing and all the stormtroopers are going out. Or is it the same scene? I don't know. Because
I like the emotional connection. You feel sorry for the character of Rey, because apparently she had a hard life growing up. She's a professional scavenger, and she lives on a desert planet, so she's going to be dirty and hot and sweaty. And I think it gives a real human element to the character and makes you connect with the character on an emotional level, which is good story writing. Good story writing.
Yeah. I was so excited. Oh my god! When I first saw like Han Solo say, like when I heard Rey, like, are the stories true? The stories, and it's true, all of it. The dark side, the Jedi, they're real.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, and you can't say that Rey is sweaty and dirty in every scene. In that one scene where she's on the Millennium Falcon, she looks pretty cleaned up.
But
So,
I don't know. I mean, when you look at it closely, I mean, at least to me, when you look at it closely, she was shiny, and I'm like, oh my god, she's still sweaty.
well, I mean, I think it's kind of hot. You know, you sweat during sex, so there you go.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I haven't had sex. I never had sex. I'm a virgin, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, well, you didn't have to disclose that, but all right, no big deal. You know, we all have our time. But anyway, moving on to Star Wars news. Have you heard any new Star Wars news today?
Nothing. Just about the trailer. Oh, also, yeah. The tickets. So I think the tickets like kind of like went out the roof. Like, oh my god, the tickets. Yeah, it's awesome. I think it crashed. Star Wars crashed the internet yesterday, the day before.
Well, I don't think it crashed the internet because I was on the internet yesterday and I was still able to access it. It crashed certain websites and maybe certain parts.
Yeah, certain websites. And
like I heard
like
Fandango yesterday crashed because there was too many people on the website trying to buy tickets to Star Wars. And then there's certain movie theaters that have already sold out for the opening showing of The Force Awakens, and there's some morons that are trying to sell tickets for $10,000.
I heard that.
SourceFed Nerd talked about this yesterday, and it's really egregious to me. I'm like, what a jerk! You know, you're such a greedy bastard that you bought up the tickets with no intention of actually going, but you just wanted to price jack the tickets. Yeah, I just don't approve of people who do that. I think it's a really jerk. It reminds me of when like Hostess went out of business. There was people buying up all the last boxes of Twinkies so they could sell them for $200 a box on eBay. I don't know if you remember that from a few years ago. Of course, Hostess went out of business and then they got bought out, and the brand name, and the Twinkies, of course, would come back. But for a while, there was no new Twinkies. But anyway, so any other Star Wars news before I move on to the next topic of interest?
Well, first of all, I heard rumors. I don't know. I keep on hearing rumors that Darth Vader could still be out there. Darth Vader and Palpatine, they're still out there, and the ones that died in Jedi are the clones.
I think that would be a terribly bad plot twist if they did that.
Yeah, because I heard that they want to do the opposite of the comic books. In the comic books, they clone the Emperor, and I think they want to do the clones and Vader. No, the clones died, and the real ones are still out there, which would be interesting,
Well, I think that would be terrible because that would make Darth Vader's, or Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader's sacrifice, meaningless if he was just a clone and it wasn't the real Darth Vader. And the one thing I wonder is, with Kylo Ren idolizing Darth Vader and talking to his mask, where's Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost? Is Force Ghost make an appearance? Tell Kylo Ren, hey, I'm not really that bad anymore.
Like in Episode 8, we hear, I don't know, Hayden Christensen right now is training for a role in Episode. I think he's training right now, and maybe in November or December, he's probably going to go on set and do something.
Yeah, that's one thing is I'm surprised that they were already filming Episode 8. There's no title for it yet. But, I'm going to look at the IMDb page for Episode 8. And looking at... Wow, right now it just says Benicio del Toro, Mark Hamill, and Oscar Isaac. It's the only 3 confirmed cast members for Episode 8. I don't see Hayden Christensen on there at all. Let's see.
I mean, I think even Dash Star said Hayden Christensen's coming back as Darth Vader. Like, you're gonna probably clone him or something.
Well, he said it. Well, Dash Star. I like Dash Star's YouTube channel, but Dash Star said that it is theorized or it's rumored that he's coming back, and he didn't confirm it. It's not a confirmed rumor, just a rumor. I'm looking at Hayden Christensen's IMDb page, and I don't see him listed in the credits for episode 8. But I mean, he could be added on. Right now, there's only, like I said, on the IMDb page for Star Wars Episode 8, there's only 3 actors listed. I already mentioned them, and that was
Also, I want to share
Mark Hamill. I'm not sure. Share screen. Hold on. How do you share screen? I got to figure out.
No, I just wanted to share.
Share screen. Okay, let me share screen. There we go. Can you see that? There. Okay, cool. Now I learned something new in Google Hangouts. I learned how to share screen. A little bit slow to this, but I am adapting people. But yeah, as you can see, it's Benicio del Toro, Mark Hamill, Oscar Isaac are the only 3 confirmed actors for episode 8. But a lot of this stuff they keep secret on purpose. The thing I'm disappointed by with episode 8 is that they don't have Lawrence Kasdan as a screenplay writer. But yeah, so anyway, moving on. Any other Star Wars news before I move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I wanted to share screen. I wanted to share screen the Star Wars new canon for those who may be confused what the new canon is.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about this.
Go ahead, share screen now.
And okay. I had to see how I can do this.
That's all right, man. Take your time. We got a little bit of time.
Yeah, because everybody's kind of confused, like what is canon and what is not canon. We've been talking about this, and
Disney has publicly disclosed that the old EU, the old expanded universe, has all been thrown out. The only thing that's canon are the movies and the TV shows, and that's it. And the new novels, like Aftermath, is canon, and the new novels and the new comic books that are coming out, the new Star Wars comics are canon. It's what's called the new canon. You have the old canon and you have the new canon. The new canon is after Disney took over.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of I don't know. I mean, it depends on your point of view. Like, are you upset? Are you upset that they threw out the EU?
Not really. I mean, there were some really dumb stories in the expanded universe, like Skippy the Droid. That was really dumb. Like the R4 unit that you saw on the New Hope originally had a name, Skippy the Droid, even though he wasn't mentioned by name in the New Hope, and that he was a Force-sensitive droid who had the power of the Force. He purposely blew his motivator just so that R2-D2 could be picked by Luke Skywalker because of his fate and his destiny. That was a little bit contrived and a little bit silly. I mean, there's some things that the Bond trilogy sounds really cool. I've never actually read it, but I read the clip notes and I went on Wikipedia. I kind of wish they didn't throw that out, but there's no New Republic. There's pros and cons. I mean, there's some things I'm glad that they threw out. And I think in order to have the problem with the expanded universe, if you're going to do a sequel, Lucas originally didn't intend to do any sequels past episode 6. He only recently wrote a script for episode 7 because it would strengthen his ability to sell LucasArts to Disney. It would increase the market share value. He could say that he was working on a sequel when he originally didn't plan to. But the way they had the EU set up is that they knew what was going to happen 1,000 years after Return of the Jedi. Up to 1,000 years after Return of the Jedi, they had already penned out the whole history, and there would have been no surprise. If you had stuck to the EU, the expanded universe, it would spoil the new trilogy because you're like, oh, I know Chewbacca's going to die this year, Han Solo's going to die this year, and the New Republic rises, and then you have just Imperial factions. You would know everything that was going to happen. So now that Disney has thrown out overall, I like it. I mean, there's some things that I wish they would have kept, but overall, I like the fact that they threw out the EU because if you kept it, it would have made it too predictable. You got to have that element of mystery, and Disney, has done a good job. Or LucasArts, which is the daughter corporation of Disney, and Disney's the daughter corporation of Viacom. But they've done a good job of marketing and keeping it mysterious. I mean, as an independent journalist, I cover a lot of these conventions. Like I covered Star Wars Celebration, and I know a lot of the plot details of the leaks. Some of them may be true, some may not be true. But I got a pretty good idea of what the story is going to be like. It sounds epic. But there's still some mystery. It's still minor elements that I'm confused about. Like, is Boba Fett going to be in Episode 7? His action figure is listed as one of the characters in the Force Awakens action figure set. So I wonder if he's going to be in Episode 7. I'm curious about that. Is he going to be fighting alongside Captain Phasma? Captain Phasma is like one of... I like Captain Phasma. I love Kylo Ren, and Rey. He's a good character, too. Ben's a good character. They're all good characters. But anyway, anything else you want to talk about before we move on to historical mystery?
Do you see my screen?
I do see your screen.
All right, hold on. Let me scroll down here. All right, new Star Wars canon timeline. This here. Star Wars canon timeline. Before Disney took over, Star Wars canon, the series of stories considered official, spanned thousands of years. Now Lucasfilm has hit the reset button as they take Star Wars storytelling into a new era. What you see below are the movies, books, TV shows, video games, and comics that are now considered canon. All right? Now, okay. So, obviously, Fan99.
Oh, we got one viewer. I'm so excited. We got one person watching us live. Last episode, I had 0 people watching us live.
We have Attack of the Clones here, which I like this. I like Jango Fett.
Oh, okay.
Jango Fett was...
How do I do that? Just go to Amber.
If you go to amberstreet.com, you should be able to watch it live from my YouTube channel.
Cool.
Somebody was asking how can you watch the show live, but there's one viewer here, so whoever you are, welcome. If you feel free to say hi if you want to, or join the live show. But okay, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
We have the Clone Wars 2008. That was a good movie. Did you like that movie, Chris?
I did. I don't care what.
Good movie.
I don't care what some of these original trilogy whiny bitches have to say. I like the Clone Wars. I like the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith is a book, Dark Disciple.
Oh. It depends.
Star Wars.
If you don't have Flash, it may not work. Sorry, somebody's asking me how to view the live show from his phone. A lot of phones don't have Flash installed, so if you're trying to view the show from your phone, it may not work unless you are able to install Flash. No, on an iPhone you can't install Flash. Anyway, so go ahead. Back to what you were talking about, Daniel.
So there's a book here called Star Wars Dark Disciple, I think, which takes place after Episode 3.
Okay.
I never read that. There's Kanan, the Last Padawan.
Okay.
There's a book called Tarkin.
Yeah, Kanan is one of the main characters from Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, and there's another book here. I think this is a really good book. It's called Lords of the Sith.
Looks interesting.
Lords. It's about like Vader and the Emperor. They crash land on a planet, and they have to survive on this planet, which I think is cool.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I never read it, but the premise is cool. I think I'm going to buy this.
Okay.
I'm so excited that this is canon. And then there's like Rise of an Empire, October 2015.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe it's out, maybe it's not.
I guess that's coming out this month.
A New Dawn.
Okay. That's already come out.
A New Dawn.
That's already come out.
Already come out. Unnamed Han Solo prequel, December 2018. I may watch that, but whatever. There's Rebels. I like Rebels. I mean, I like the idea, but I'm not going to watch it. Star Wars Rogue One.
Why aren't you going to watch Rebels?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's too childish.
It's not. I saw the pilot. It's written for a general audience, for children and adults.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's obviously Star Wars. There's Star Wars Battlefront. That's a book. Star Wars Battlefront, Twilight Company. Princess Leia, March 2015. I don't know what that is. That could be a book. That could be a movie. I don't know. No, that's not a movie. There's Darth Vader, February 2015.
I think these
Heir
are all,
to the Jedi.
These are all books.
Yeah, Heir to the Jedi, March 2015. Marvel Star Wars, January 2015. Chewbacca, October 2015.
These are some of the comics. Okay.
I've never seen this. Chewbacca, October 2015.
Well,
There's
that would be coming out sometime this month.
Yeah. Lando, July 2015.
Okay,
Vader Down.
Ah.
Vader Down, November 2015. Weapon of a Jedi, September 2015. Smuggler's Run, September 2015. Empire Strikes Back, May 1980. Return of the Jedi, May 8, 1983. Moving Target, September 2015. Lost Stars, September 2015. Aftermath, that takes place after Jedi.
Yeah, I read an article about that book.
Yeah, Shattered Empire, September 2015. The Force Awakens, December 26, 2015.
That's a big
Battlefront
historical gap. That's a big historical gap. That's like 30 years historical gap there. There's no books that take place.
Yeah.
In the game.
Battlefront is canon? You know what? This game has no story. It has no story. It has missions only, but the missions are short. And I'm like, oh my god, you spent so much time, and you don't have anything.
Well, it's probably because Disney decided that. I mean, the Battlefront, didn't they start production of that game before Disney bought Star Wars?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. You're the first one to know.
Anyway, well, that's cool, man. I've got to move on to the next topic, though, unless there's anything else you want to talk about Star Wars-wise. I was going to move on to historical mysteries.
And then, so 2019, we get Star Wars Episode 9, and in 2017, we get Episode 8. So, yeah, that's what's considered canon.
Yeah. Cool beans. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of had to throw out the old canon, you know, because, like I said, it would spoil everything. You would know what was going to happen in the next 3 movies. You would know what was going to happen 1,000 years in the future. I mean, there was a comic book where, like, there was a descendant of Luke Skywalker, and it was like 300 years in the future or something, and he turns to the dark side of the Force, and he looks very similar to Luke Skywalker. And
yeah, that was Caden Skywalker.
Yeah, but that's no longer canon. I mean, it would be ridiculous. Like I said, you would know too much. You would know everything that was going to happen. So they had to throw all that out just to preserve the element of history.
Yeah, but they could have just said some of the books happened, like, you know,
well, those are the old,
a little bit.
the old canon are now referred to as Star Wars Legends. And like you said, like I was saying, these legends they're usually based, they're mythology mixed with fact. Like some of it's factual, some of it's mythological. So that's how you can take that. And you can still enjoy the old canon, the old EU. The books are still there. It's just as far as regards to the movies, they had to move forward. And I agree with Disney's decision to throw out the old universe. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about historical mysteries. We already got half the show over, so we're running a little bit behind on schedule. So the first historical mystery I wanted to talk about was the Zodiac Killer. Are you familiar with that?
No.
This was a very creepy, unsolved case from 1966 to 1970. He may have killed more than they don't know about it. There was a guy known as the Zodiac Killer. And he apparently killed all these people and got away with it. And he mailed taunting letters to the police department. He mailed taunting letters to newspapers, and they never caught him. And he was even the basis of a 2007 movie. But so let me screen share. I'll show you. There we go. And that drawing is based on eyewitness testimony because one of his victims, there was a couple people who he attacked that survived. You know, there was a girl that he kidnapped her for a brief time in the car, and she managed to escape. And then there was a guy that he stabbed, but he survived the injury, and he was able to give a physical description of the guy that attacked him. And that's what the drawing is from. But they've never caught him, which is very mysterious. That he'd mail like pieces of bloody clothing he killed a taxi driver by shooting him in the head. He didn't have a consistent MO with killing his victims. He sometimes stabbed his victims, sometimes he shot them. And there's other missing people who were suspected to be his victims. And he would always mail in like a piece of evidence so that he could confirm that this wasn't a hoax letter. So the last confirmed letter from the Zodiac Killer was, I think, in 1974, and the last confirmed killing was in 1970. He apparently just stopped killing for whatever reason and disappeared. Probably dead. If I had to guess, he probably died of natural causes. Because usually people like that don't stop killing unless they're made to.
Maybe he's human. Maybe he's an alien.
Maybe he's an alien. Yeah, I think that's highly improbable, but
maybe he's one of the Zodiac signs as a person. Like maybe he's the girl with the mermaid, or maybe he's like a cancer, a crab or something that became live and decided to kill. That's why he's in Zodiac.
Maybe, but I prefer to stick to probable explanations. But
if it's not, what is it? It's not probable.
Well, anyway, do you have anything else to add about this mystery? But yeah, this is one of my favorite mysteries. It's inspired movies. It's inspired many documentary films. But the thing that's really intriguing was that he mailed like 3 different cryptographs, and only one of the cryptographs had been translated. He had military-style boots. He had like a military-style crew cut based on physical description from one of the surviving witnesses, and he may have been even in the military. And so it's just a very bizarre case, and the guy left so much evidence, and they never could connect them to anybody. They had suspects, but in recent history, they did a partial DNA analysis from one of the stamps that was licked, on one of the envelopes, the Zodiac killer was confirmed as male, and they couldn't match the DNA to any of the known suspects. So it's still an active case. It's a cold case. But anyway, I'm probably going to move on. Unless you have anything else to add, Daniel, I'm probably going to move on to the next topic.
You know, actually, you know what? I think I heard about the Zodiac killer. I saw a documentary on that before.
Yeah, it's very, very fascinating. I mean, everybody loves a good mystery. It's just very bizarre that this guy was able to kill so many people and mail so many letters and so many pieces of evidence, and they never caught him. And then what's even more mysterious is, why did he stop killing? Why did he stop writing? It's probably because he died, if I had to guess.
Went back to Starship.
Or he went back to his starship, like my friend sitting next to me is.
Jensen, myself and Triple H.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think that's probable, but anything's possible, you know. But anyway, Daniel, let me move on to the next mystery that I want to talk about. Just to show the day, it's partly about Star Wars and partly about mysteries. The mystery of Elisa Lamb's death at the Cecil Hotel. Hold on, I'm going to pull up her Wikipedia article. There we go. There's a picture of Elisa Lam. She was Canadian, lived in Vancouver, Canada, of Chinese descent. Her family immigrated from Hong Kong. And she was on vacation in Los Angeles, and she stayed at the Cecil Hotel, which I've stayed there before. And because of the Elisa Lam case and the controversy that it created and the class action lawsuit it created, they changed the name of the hotel to stay on Main. But the hotel still has the Cecil Hotel on the side, but when you approach the hotel, it says stay on Main. This case is really bizarre because there was a security video that went viral on YouTube where she's acting very bizarre in the elevator, and she's pushing all the buttons, and she appears to be playing hide and go seek, and then she steps out of the elevator and she's wiggling her arms and acting kind of weird, like she's playing a game of hide and go seek with somebody. But then some people think that she's playing the elevator game, but her nude body was found in the water tank on top of the hotel. And the reason why there was a class action lawsuit is her body decomposed for 2 weeks. All of her belongings and her nude body were found in the water tank. But the coroner, the LA coroner, ruled her death an accident, not a suicide, not a homicide, and not a murder, but an accident, which is kind of bizarre. And the water tank, you would have had to, you know, most people who stayed at the hotel, I didn't even know about the water tank on top of the roof until I recently stumbled upon this case. And she could have gotten to it by the fire escape. But the thing is the lid is very hard to remove. There's a lid on top of the water tank, and she apparently drowned when the lid was closed on her, or maybe somebody threw her body in there. But it's like, well, if she died an accidental death of accidental drowning, then who closed the lid on her? So that to me doesn't make much sense that it was ruled an accident. I think somebody killed her. I think she was murdered, and I think that it might have been even maybe a member of the hotel staff. But you guys should stay tuned for more, because next month I'm going to stay at the Cecil Hotel, or now known as Stay on Main, and I'm going to I might even get their permission, because I know that they were trying to get people to sign waivers saying that they acknowledged the risk of drinking contaminated water. They don't want the bad publicity, hence they changed the name. But I'm going to reenact her last day, and I'm going to actually film at the elevator where the viral video was filmed. I've been in that elevator before. The elevator is not very well maintained. And I'm going to do a documentary about this, because it's just a very bizarre case. And then the thing that's even more weird about her, there's a picture of the Cecil Hotel. The thing that's even more weird is that this, before they changed the name, now when you go there, you'll see that these yellow letters, they've got a big banner over it that says Stay on Main Hotel, because they're trying to distance themselves. This hotel has had a rich history, but a dark history. You know, like the Night Stalker serial killer stayed there, and there was another serial killer, I can't remember his name, also stayed at this hotel. The Black Dahlia, you know, the Elizabeth Short, aka Elizabeth Short, is known to have stayed at this hotel back in 1947.
Who's reincarnated? Give me an actress again.
Okay.
Same name.
And
Emotional for her character.
okay. Okay. And so yeah, this hotel is a rich history, but it's a dark history, and a lot of mysterious suicides and death have occurred at this hotel, including that of Elisa Lam. Have you heard about this case, or are you familiar with this case, Daniel, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Do you have anything else to add about the mysterious death of Elisa Lam? Have you heard about this case?
Nope.
And the other thing that was really weird is that, you know, she died in February 2013, and she had a Tumblr account. She apparently was bipolar. She talked about how she stayed in bed for 2 days, hating herself. And some people that's why some people theorize that she may have killed herself, but her death wasn't ruled a suicide. And her Tumblr, there's two mysterious things about this case, other than who closed the lid. Her Tumblr account continued to post things, like just random images of art pictures, until December 2013, well after she was dead. Now, one of two things were possible with this. Tumblr has an option called queuing, where, hey, I'm going to be out of town for 6 weeks. I can schedule a queue where, you know, you can do this up to a year in advance. You can queue events on Tumblr where Tumblr will auto post for you in your absence. So she may have set up a queue, or whoever took her cell phone. Her cell phone was not found along her personal possessions, because all her personal possessions were found in the water tank next to her nude body. And so somebody has her cell phone. And so they could have posted to her Tumblr via her cell phone. So there's some unexplained mysteries, and I think the hotel was way too eager to hush up this case and just rule it an accident theft. Because if they ruled it a homicide, then it would make them culpable, make them liable. But anyway, if you don't have anything else to add, I think I'm going to move on to the next interesting thing.
Sure.
The Black Dahlia murder, which this ties in with the Cecil Hotel. Hold on. Elizabeth Short. Here's a picture of Elizabeth Short. She is known to have frequented the Cecil Hotel, but the last hotel that she stayed at was hold on, I'm going to find it in just a second. But yeah, she was. This was a scandalous case. A lot of people think that she may have been a prostitute, even though there's no evidence of that. And her body was found nude and cut in half. And somebody had also cut into her face. They cut both sides of her cheek to give her like a really deathly, like eerie Joker-like grin. And they basically disfigured her face, cut her in two. And there was a lot of homicide detectives in LA who were trying to solve this murder case, and it was never solved. It's still an open cold case to this day. She was very poor. She moved to Los Angeles in 1947 and had a hard time making ends meet, so she flirted with a lot of men, and sometimes would get men to pay for her hotel stay. And and there's a number of suspects, but they never could pin the murder on anybody, and her case still remains unresolved to this day. And this case has also inspired movies, documentary films. Are you familiar with Black Dahlia, Elizabeth Short case? Okay.
Nope, never heard of it.
But let's see. And then there's the grave of Elizabeth Short. Yeah, very tragic. She was only 22. Yeah, she was only 22 when she died, and beautiful, and she was known to wear a lot of black. And there was a movie that came out in 1946 known as The Blue Dahlia, which is theorized that's where she got her nickname from. And there was a doctor who lived only a mile from where her body was found. Some of the detectives theorized that whoever cut her in half, they had drained her blood, and they cut her in half, and they immediately tucked the intestines behind her buttocks, and they spread her legs open in a sexual pose and spread her arms open as to like humiliate her. But they theorized that this person had expertise in dissection. They may have been a doctor, or they could have been a butcher. And they never solved the case. They never were able to come up with enough evidence to pin the case. And because the case had become such a famous case, there was a lot of suspects who were basically, just people trying to be con men because they wanted to be a celebrity and claim that they were the person who killed her, even though they didn't. Yeah, but yeah, Dr. Walter Bailey was a Los Angeles surgeon who lived in one block south of the vacant lot. This is the doctor I'm talking about, where Elizabeth Short's body was found. At the time of the murder, Bailey's estranged wife still lived in the home. Bailey's daughter was also a friend of Elizabeth Short's sister, Virginia. So this is the connection that was never fully... Walter Bailey, because he had a daughter who was a friend of Elizabeth Short's sister. Most of the time when you kill somebody, it's because it's somebody, you get killed by somebody you know. Like 80% of all murders, you're killed by somebody you knew. And so this guy was a doctor or surgeon, would have had expertise to drain the blood and neatly dissect the body like it was found. And he had a connection to Elizabeth Short. His daughter was a friend of Elizabeth Short's sister. And the body was found only a block away from his house. So it's a very unusual coincidence. It's a shame that they never really investigated this deeper. But yeah, anyway, that's basically all I have to say on the Black Dahlia murder. I'm running out of time. Do you have anything else to comment about the Black Dahlia murder before I move on to creepypasta?
Nope.
All right. Well, I am going to move on to creepypastas. Swap around here.
Yeah. This is
pastas. All right. According to Wikipedia, a creepypasta or horror-related legends are images that have been copied and pasted around the internet. These internet entries are often brief, user-generated ghost or alien stories intended to scare readers. These include gruesome tales of murder, suicide, and otherworldly occurrences. But I believe that they're, creepypastas, in my opinion, didn't originate on the internet. I know the modern definition, they originate on the internet. There's one, let me go to my topic list here. One creepypasta, which is well known, that developed some controversy, is Slender Man. Slender Man was probably the most famous creepypasta. And the thing was that Slender Man inspired a real crime, a real attempted murder. On May 31st, 2014, two 12-year-old girls in Wisconsin allegedly tied down and stabbed a 12-year-old classmate 19 times. They almost killed her. So these two 12-year-old girls believed that they had read about Slender Man on the internet. They believed that Slender Man was real, and they were easily manipulated because they were naive. And that's the thing why you've always got to be a skeptic, and you've always got to stick to the scientific method. Because if you're not a skeptic and you're not critical of your own belief system, and you don't follow a scientific method, you can be susceptible to manipulation, and you can believe anything. You can just make up any story and claim that it's true. And so, I mean, and that's sadly, tragically, what happened to these two 12-year-old girls. Luckily, their victim didn't die, but she was badly injured. They were charged with attempted murder. And apparently, wow, on September 4th, 2014, a 14-year-old girl in Port Richey, Florida, allegedly set her house on fire while her mother and her 9-year-old brother were inside. Police said that the teenager had been reading online stories about Slender Man as well as a sushi Okapo, I'm not pronouncing that right, manga soul eater. So she apparently was inspired by Slender Man. But yeah, it's crazy that people think that is a real person or a real character. The fictional supernatural character originated as an internet meme created by Something Awful forums. User Eric Knudsen, Eric, aka Victor Surge. So, this was a fictional character created by a guy, and I would say that creepypastas predate the internet, because I'm going to talk about. Do you have anything else to add about Slender Man, Daniel, before I move on to the next topic? We've only got 9 minutes left, so I'm gonna smooth this out and roll on to the next topic. We've only got 9 minutes left, and but yeah, this next topic, I view it as a creepypasta, but it doesn't fit fully the definition of creepypasta, because creepypastas are stories that originated on the internet. But I believe that this is what you would call a magazine creepypasta, and that is the SS Ourang Medan. The SS Ourang Medan, the legend of that ship, which can't be authenticated, and it's probably just a fictional tale in the magazine.
I went to London. They have the whole register of ships. They'll be able to register everywhere.
Okay.
It's Panama or something like that. Register.
Yeah, they don't. And if you check with the ships, with the international ships registry, there's no mention of that ship.
Boys might have it.
But the SS Ourang Medan was a ghost ship, which, according to various sources, became a shipwreck in Indonesian waters. And its entire crew died under mysterious circumstances. Skepticism exists about the truthfulness of the story, suggesting the ship may have never actually existed and is becoming a legend. The earliest known, I'm reading directly from Wikipedia here, the earliest known English reference to the ship in the incident is in a May 1952 issue of Proceedings of the Merchant Marine Council, published by the United States Coast Guard. So this was like a ghost story that was written in a magazine, and people took it out of proportion and now think that it might be a real story. But this is what I would call an early creepypasta. It's a fictional story written in a magazine, and then people started to believe that it was real, kind of like some people believed that Slender Man was real. And it just, over time, it spread through gossip. So I think that creepypastas, you can argue, just by this story alone, you can argue that creepypastas predate. And but yeah, this supposedly what happened on the ship was that there was a distress call. And that's the mysterious thing, is that the ship that supposedly came to the rescue was never named. So that's a big flaw in the story right there. And there was a distress call, and supposedly the distress call said that all the crew and the captain are dead, the the captain and all of his crew are dead, and that and then there was supposedly incoherent messages from the ship, radio messages, and then the last message was "I die," and then they boarded the ship and found everybody dead with their mouth open and their eyes looked in horror like they had died in a horror movie. So it's like something out of the set of a horror movie, but this story is more than likely fictional and what I would consider one of the earliest creepypastas, but it originated in magazine form, not internet form. Do you have anything to say about that, Daniel? We talked about this a little bit off camera.
I think every legend has a basis in facts. I think it did happen. I really did think it did happen, but they probably destroyed the records or something.
Yeah, it just seems like a stretch to destroy the record. I mean, there was, I believe that it's a creepypasta. The Lloyd's shipping register has no record of the ship, and this is an international corporation that keeps a registry of all known ships. But it's not, the ship's not listed in Lloyd's shipping register, which is also referenced here on Wikipedia. And sticking with critical thinking and scientific method, I have to say that it's a fictional story. I would love for it to be true, because we all love a good mystery. But I did talk about earlier some good mysteries. Well, we only got 4 minutes left in the show. I'm running a little bit behind schedule, so we want to talk about new Star Trek TV series ideas. I'll leave that to you, Daniel. You're my Star Trek expert.
Okay. There was a pitch from. There was a pitch from Bryan Singer, and I really, really like this pitch. Okay. It takes place in the year 2000, and the Federation, is in trouble. It would have been an allegory for the fall of the Roman Empire. It would have been a darker story, with and they would have a new threat would have came, called the Scourge. They call this enemy called the Scourge, comes out of nowhere and attacks the Federation. And they build a new enterprise to find out what this threat is, right? And I like it. I really like. I mean, I encourage everybody to read that pitch. I have one. I have the pitch. I printed it out. I really like it. It's really, really awesome. And I hope it gets considered in the future.
Well, I mean, Bryan Singer tried that pitch when Star Trek was on hiatus, because Star Trek was on hiatus from 2005 to 2009, and they went with Abrams' pitch, and that's what they stuck with. And unfortunately, Abrams is such a jerk that he put into his contract that he didn't want a Star Trek TV series to compete, because he viewed it as a competitor to Star Trek movies, and he thought that it would hurt the success of the movies. And so I think as long as J.J. Abrams is at the helm of Star Trek, and apparently he's going to be the producer for Star Trek 4, as well as he's the executive producer for Star Trek Beyond. As long as J.J. Abrams is at the helm of Star Trek, I doubt there will ever be a TV series, at least not until he leaves.
Okay. I think that,
what now?
But the original contract was for 3 movies, 3 movies and a TV series. So even if they renew the contract for a 4, 5, and 6, they can still do a TV series.
Yeah, maybe. I just think that if they wanted to do, it's been 10 years since they did a Star Trek TV series. So I think if they wanted to do a Star Trek TV series, CBS Studios would have seen to it. So I don't know. I don't like the new Star Trek. I think it's crap, and you already know my opinion on this off camera. And I just don't have much optimism for the future of Star Trek. Period. Bryan Singer was already, when he did that pitch in 2006, he was already known for doing X-Men. He was already a successful director. So somebody Bryan Singer's political clout in Hollywood can't get a Star Trek TV series made, then there's very little optimism for the future, in my opinion. But go ahead. What?
I like the idea.
No, it sounded like a good idea. But anyway, we are out of time. I'm going to end on that note. Thank you guys for watching. This is Steampunk Star Raisin, AmberStreet.com. You have a nice day, and I will see you in 25 billion years. I will.